This is the Waterpik Whitening Water Flosser. I've been testing it for a few weeks and I'm here to give you my opinions on it. So, a whitening water flosser, does it really work? Is it any good? Well, ultimately, getting straight to the point, yeah, it works. It's a good water flosser, but I think the whitening is a little bit of an oversale in terms of what it actually offers, and there's a few things you need to be aware of, and ultimately I think Waterpik offer better value options than this professional water flosser. Now let me explain in a bit more detail as to why. So the model I've been testing is the Waterpik WF05, that's the professional whitening model. There's also a WF06, which is the same whitening model, but it doesn't have the professional features. And what that means is it loses the built-in timer and massage mode, and there's a slightly different design to the two units, but essentially they're very similar. So this kind of review covers both to some extent, although I've been testing the WF05 model, which retails at $99.99 as opposed to $79.99. So just be aware there is a $20 difference as well. So probably the main thing I want to cover is this whole thing of whitening. That's what it's actually sold on, and one of the unique features about this whitening water flosser is that you use tablets that you pop into the handle of the flosser to help with that whitening process. Now, to really understand whether this does or doesn't work, you need to understand teeth whitening a little bit. Now there's two types of teeth whitening. You have the teeth whitening that removes external stains on your teeth, things like tea, coffee, foods like curries, bolognese that stain the external surface of your teeth. And then you have the whitening that affects the internal structure of your teeth, things like trauma and aging and general yellowing of the teeth, which are a little bit more outside of your control. It's the external staining on the teeth, or that external whitening process, that we can use the Waterpik flosser for. Now, be aware you're only ever restoring the natural colour of your teeth. You're removing those stains. You're not technically whitening, you actually stain removal is the process that you're actually going through. And that's where I think this is a little bit misleading, because yes, your teeth can potentially look whiter, but it's a stain removal process, not technically a whitening process. Now, the other thing to note is everyone's teeth are different and not everybody has stains on the outside of their teeth. So that whitening effect will be different for everyone. And the reality is that once those external stains have gone, you just need to maintain good oral health care and your teeth should remain their natural whiter colour. You don't necessarily need to continue using whitening or stain removal products. And again, this is where this flosser kind of misleads you a little bit. And I'm not saying it's a big issue, but once you've removed those external stains, it's never going to be doing anything more than just maintaining your smile and stopping external stains sort of discolouring your teeth further. Now, those tablets are actually designed to pop into the handle and they cost $10 a tub, which when you consider this to other water flossing products makes it a very expensive product ongoing. Now you can use it without the tablets and you don't necessarily need to use those tablets, but they have silica in them, which is kind of like an abrasive agent, which is ultimately what is helping get rid of those external stains. As the water and the silica mixture is fired at the teeth, it's removing those external stains. So I hope that gives you kind of a bit of a summary overall, and why I think it's probably a little bit misleading with this flosser, and you're probably actually better off spending your money on one of their other flossers like the Aquarius, the WP660. It's a bit cheaper, it provides a lot of the similar features, but it doesn't have this whitening element. And if you really want to make sure your teeth are white, go to your dentist or your dental hygienist and get a professional cleaning. It's going to be much more effective than what this flosser can do for actual stain removal. But with that aside, let's look at the flosser and some more of the features. So it's got a nice big reservoir or tank, 22 ounces or 650 millilitres, which means that you should on average get about 90 seconds or so of flossing time. That's more than enough for most people to get a good floss of their teeth and gums and things like that. You've got variable pressure settings on there. You've got 10 different settings ranging from 0 to 10. You just control that via the rotatable knob on the front of the unit. So that varies from 10 through to 100 PSI. Most people are going to find somewhere about 6, 7, 8 is the ideal pressure setting. 10 is really powerful. On the professional model, so that's the WF05, you also have the option of a massage mode. That's designed to be used after you've used the standard flossing mode, and that's to help with your gum tissue and encourage blood flow and healthier gums there. You also have the benefit on the professional model of the built-in timer and pacer, which essentially helps you get an even clean of your teeth and gums and your interdental spaces. What I particularly like is with this unit you have an on-off button on the handle that you actually control to move around your mouth. In comparison to a lot of other Waterpik models, particularly if you've used them before, this doesn't have rotatable nozzles or tips at the top. The whole handle actually rotates rather than the nozzles, so just be aware you don't have those rotating tips, the actual handle rotates. You get 4 tips included in the box, as well as a handy little travel case to put those in, or a storage container to pop them to one side when they're not in use. You get a 2-pin US power adapter on the back, and you get about a few feet of cable on the back, and then you've got another 3 feet or so of extension on the hose that extends from the water flosser through to the handle itself. It does need to be connected to mains power to work. There's no battery or anything built in. When actually running, it's surprisingly quiet, a lot quieter than older models, and although it does make a noise, it's quieter than I had anticipated it actually would be. So as I mentioned at the outset, this retails for $99.99. You can generally actually pick it up closer to about $80. If you go for the non-professional model, that retails at $79.99, and you can generally save a little bit on that. So all things considered, I would actually suggest you go for the Waterpik Aquarius model. It has essentially all of the same features without the whitening element, so you don't need to pop in those tablets, because those tablets are $10 per tub, and a tub lasts you a month. It gets very expensive, and I think the benefits are going to be limited. There's more details and explanations on the whole whitening and how that actually works in the written review that accompanies this video. Check the link in the description for that. But I hope you found this video useful. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. For more videos like this, click subscribe. But until next time, thanks for watching.